Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of In the Crease, your look inside the Furman women's lacrosse program. I'm Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins. Kirkland Lewis is here, the women's lacrosse head coach, and for the second straight week, we have a player guest. Senior defender Ellie Roser is with us. Ladies, how are we?
Good. Doing good.
Everybody good?
Coming off a good weekend.
Nervous?
A little bit.
Like I told you beforehand, it ain't rocket science. You've done a lot more difficult things than this in your Furman career academically. I can promise you that. I'd like to think that this was some great benefit to mankind, but hey, we're just talking lacrosse, so we're good. Playing pretty well right now. 3 straight wins, a quarterfinal win in the conference tournament.
Huge, yeah. It's been amazing. Just turning the corner on the season has been awesome to see the team develop, and now we get to actually enjoy, the exciting second half of the season.
Yeah, and now, though, the fact that you're in the part of the season, it's survive and advance or lose and start thinking about next season, right?
Yeah, it is. But I think for us, we just have still so much potential, and I think we're just taking it game by game.
And this young lady and I, while we were waiting on you to get up here, we were talking about her career and the fact that her 4 years has gone by fairly rapidly, right?
Yes, very fast.
I want to ask you on the show what you and I were talking about prior to Kirkland getting here and us getting started, and that is whenever I get a chance to talk to freshman athletes usually, I always ask them, what did you hear about Furman's academics and time management, and what was it actually like when you got here? We were talking about your improved time management skills from freshman season to now, and you said it was really the end of maybe your first semester before it finally started to click.
Yeah, I think so. I think coming into Furman, I heard from a lot of people that it would be a really big adjustment. They gave me a lot of tips, but I think until you're actually here or playing Division I lacrosse, you can hear all the advice, but you really have to live it to get great at it. And I think now, senior year, it's a lot less stressful. I've feel a lot more confident in my role now than I did probably my freshman year when it felt like there was hundreds of things going on around me.
Yeah, just trying to slow the windstorm down a little bit, right?
Yes.
Well, obviously you've done well. You're here in your senior season, and it's one of those deals now where every game could be your last. And we were talking about, again, before we started recording the show, I asked you what were your best moments this year, and as a senior, you just said basically every game, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think especially on Saturday, knowing that this was our last guaranteed 60 minutes, and if we lost, our season will be done. So losing is definitely in the past, and we just have to earn the next 60 minutes that we get. And this team wants to be in the championship game, so we're grateful to have another 60 minutes on Friday, but we really have to go out strong for that one to get another 60 after that.
And Kirkland, you've been through that as a player and as a coach with different teams?
Yeah, it's always, I think, it's just you kind of always want more. Especially with this class, I keep saying I just want more time with them, so it really is we'll focus on winning so we can stay together and we can really enjoy the exciting part of the season. But it's always really hard when it suddenly just ends and the season's done.
All right, now, Ellie, I told you I was going to ask you this question, so just pretend that Coach isn't here. All right, this is just you and I talking. When the coaching change occurred, we went through a gap without a coach for a while the search was on, and there was a lot of I would sit up here and I would watch you and your teammates go through workouts on your own. Some of your teammates decided to move on. You, as a senior, decided to stay here, not knowing what the future was going to be. Why did you make that decision, and how do you feel like it's worked out for you?
Yeah, I think when the coaches left, that was really hard. I have a lot of respect for them, and I think the timing of it was really weird. But I think this team is really special, and leaving was never in the cards for me. I wanted to stay. I wanted to finish out my 4 years here with the people that I started it with freshman year, and the relationships on the team just kept me here for sure. And I think working out by ourselves, there was never any doubt in my mind that wouldn't happen. That's just what we're used to, and we knew that that's what had to be done to prepare us for this point in the season where we are now.
So as a senior, how long did it take you to buy into your new coach's philosophy and what she was selling you when she came on board?
can be
Immediately.
honest.
I think immediately we didn't have a choice on whether or not we wanted to buy in. We got to go through the recruiting process of finding a coach. Got to meet Kirkland, which was amazing, and we had to buy in quickly. Everyone did because she got the timing that she got here. We had games like a month later, so
Yeah.
it was a really quick turnaround.
What's it like for you to hear her talking like this?
No, it's nice, and I think I said this before when HD was here. It's the same messaging always. I think this group was really intentional about what they wanted, how they wanted the season to look, and it never wavered. And for me coming in, it aligned with what I wanted to be in the championship too, and I wanted to have a competitive season. So it really did. It was easy. I think there's times where there's hiccups and you just go through a regular transition, but it's been great, especially with the upperclassmen group we've had.
So we talked last week, you and I did, about the upcoming, at that time, senior night
Yeah.
game against Presbyterian College and how that was going to work, because these girls have been with you for 1 year, but they've bought in. It's in the rearview mirror now. How did that night go?
Yeah, it was amazing. I think it was nice to give the seniors spotlight and love and attention because they deserved it and they earned it. And then, getting a win that we did was excellent. There's always things to work on, but overall it was a great game, great night.
Winning always helps, doesn't it?
Yes.
We are in the Crease talking Furman women's lacrosse with head coach Kirkland Lewis, and our player guest this week is Ellie Roser, a senior defender. We are guaranteed at least one more episode on Monday, regardless of what happens this weekend. We're going to talk about where you're going now, but you get that win over PC, and then you jump right into quarterfinal play in the Big South tournament, and got a win over a Winthrop team that you had just beaten a week or so before in overtime, which we know how much you love.
We love overtime here.
But you avoided it this time.
Yeah, we did. I think it was really nice seeing them only 14 days later was nice because we were familiar, but recognizing how much we changed as a team and then realizing they would come really hard because they had lost at home on their senior day in overtime. So it was a lot to prepare, and we changed our game plan a little bit, but overall it was an exciting game, and I think we performed really well.
What did you change in the game plan? How did you have to adjust to a team that you had just played 2 weeks prior?
Yeah, I think we adjusted by shutting some more people down on their offensive end that we struggled with in the game prior to that. But then I think on the flip side of us, we really just focused on what we can improve, and I think that was really the difference maker in that game.
So, as a defender, and admittedly, and Kirkland knows this, you're talking to a lacrosse novice here, so I try to ask a lot of lacrosse 101 questions for people out there who may not be as familiar with the sport. As a defender, equate what you do as a defender to maybe what a defender does in soccer. Is it similar? Isn't it, because it's not a glory, I'm going to put the ball in the net type of position, is it?
Exactly, yeah. I would equate it a lot to the type of play you see in basketball. I never played soccer, so I'm not sure, but definitely you're not getting the glory of scoring goals, but you're getting the glory of stopping them and giving our attack an opportunity to score.
Yeah, I think
protecting a basket. You're not coming into my lane,
Exactly.
blocking shots.
Yeah,
Okay.
defense is just a gritty position, and it really requires a lot of teamwork. So it's really, I think they see wins overall as a defensive unit more so than one person, where kind of you see that on the attacking side.
But it still comes down to you have to put together the right game plan, the right scheme, and scheme to take certain players out of the game, perhaps like you just mentioned with some Winthrop top scorers, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, we're in the Crease. We're talking women's lacrosse here, as we have been doing every Monday. Brand new program, and we'll continue to do it at least one more week, and hopefully beyond that. Quarterfinals are gone, and now it's all of a sudden semifinals. You're 2 wins away from going to the NCAA tournament.
Oh, wow. When you put it that way.
Yeah. Well, looking back, before we even talk about Mercer coming up, looking back at the whirlwind, could you have imagined a situation where you were 2 wins away from going to the NCAA tournament when you walked on campus and said, let's go?
No, not
Not-
that.
not
I
in-
think
not in
it's
this first year?
Not in that way. I think it was always like we want to get to the Big South Championship, never really thinking about NCAA's. But that's why I'm like, oh, when you phrase it that way, yeah, it is. It is really just 2 games, but
I do what I can.
thank you for that. A little bit of pressure, but but I think thinking of it, we kind of knew all roads were going to lead through Mercer again, and so. It's exciting to get another shot. And I think there's a couple games that got away from us earlier in the season that we wish we could have back. And so this is one that we actually get back.
Well, let's talk about that first matchup because Ellie was telling me about it a little bit earlier. What went wrong in that first matchup with Mercer?
Oy.
And you can't say everything. You got to give me some specifics.
No, there was, I think our top scorers didn't score. Ellie Roser didn't score. Meg Beal didn't score. HD only had 1 assist. We didn't do well on the draws, and we didn't shut down Haley Radigan at all, and that was our game plan. And we also didn't have a lot of saves. So you put that in combination, you're not winning that game when you can't do things offensively and you can't do anything defensively and you don't win the ball on the draw. So all 3 pieces of the field.
I was going to say even a novice can understand.
Yeah.
can understand that. So Ellie, it sounds like it's a fairly easy game plan. All the things you didn't do in the first game, do them this time, right?
Yes.
It's never quite that easy though, because the other team always has something to say about it.
Yeah, you're right. I think we've just grown so much, though, since that last Mercer game. And with our season on the line this game, it's just a totally different feel. Anytime we play Mercer, it's a great game, really emotional game. So we're excited for that on Friday.
So how do you mentally approach this, knowing that, as you said, your words, this could be my last 60 minutes? How mentally are you approaching this week?
I think really focused and just focusing on the little things and making sure that we're doing our job in the moment, and that exact moment that we're in can really take us far, especially in these practices coming up for the Friday game.
You want to add to that?
Yeah, I think, I think something that we have to really focus on that's not on field is the mental piece. Like, there's history with Mercer, and I think sometimes that can get a little too big where things just go rogue and you're not able, like you blink and you're down, 8 goals. So really mentally preparing for how to just stay focused and keep to the game plan and make sure we're playing really mature and, just converting on our opportunities. I think that's kind of, the coaching staff's focus going into this week because we've always had the talent, but you have to be able to put mental and physical together.
So what's more important in your estimation than getting off to a quick start or not allowing them to get off to a quick start?
I think it's us getting off to a quick start. We've kind of had that pattern throughout the season where we start out really strong and then we have a third quarter slump and then the score gets really close and we have to fight to finish in the fourth. So getting out early, but also stopping them. We're not really going to completely shut them down, but slowing them down and making sure that we're scoring more than them is going to be the key to it.
I will set that time up on Friday here in just a minute. I want to ask you, before we wrap it up, about Den's Day and how that was your first time going through it here.
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
It was exciting. I think it was really cool to see just all the whole community come together for this one day and see all the different posts and different achievement marks that different programs made, and then just to get in touch with different alum that, obviously I had never made contact with was nice, but also to see the turnout from current families on our team was really nice.
It's a unique situation because this is not a program that has what you would call a very deep alumni base. Correct. Because it's still a relatively new program. I think
Right.
2014, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't have 15, 20, 30 years of
Right.
alum you can go to, like, say, football does or basketball
Right.
or whatever. How do you overcome that challenge when you're talking about fundraising and trying to reach some of those goals?
Yeah, I think for us, it's more so like participation numbers, not so much dollar amount. We just want to have everyone that's involved or has been involved with the program to be engaged. So kind of just taking it step by step and knowing, especially when there's a new coach, that takes even longer to kind of develop those relationships.
And you're graduating a potential donor, not a potential donor, a donor.
A donor,
right
yes.
here. No pressure,
That,
right?
that happens as soon as you graduate, just so you know.
No. Try. Listen. My daughters were not athletes in college, but they are both college graduates, and their graduation ceremony was, first week of May or second week of May or whatever it was. By June 1st, we were getting the
gosh.
literature in the mail, addressed to them about. It's time to start giving back. So,
Oh my goodness.
you've been forewarned.
Okay.
That's the way it
Expect
works.
that.
But with that experience you've got, that's what you hope happens. That they love the program so much that they want to
Yeah.
continue to support it even after they're gone, and that's a way for somebody like you to continue to maintain a connection to the program.
Yeah, for sure. I think our alumni are awesome and that we have a lot of connections with them. So I'm excited to be a part of that group.
All right, I know we're on a little bit of a time crunch here because of Ellie's schedule. By the way, they're doing all this, and finals are going on, and playing and practicing around finals. We're recording this on Monday, and finals wrap up here on Wednesday. Correct? They
Correct.
Wednesday of last week to Wednesday of this week. So we've got to get Ellie out of here quickly. Let's talk though. Friday against Mercer.
Yes.
At High Point.
Yes.
What time?
We will be at 7:00.
Okay, and it's
Yeah.
the second game of the day, correct?
Yes.
And the
So-
number 1 seed Campbell got eliminated by Gardner Webb, who plays High Point.
Yeah, well, they were the number 4 seed, Dan. Okay.
Well, they were number 1 in the they were when you beat them earlier. I'm
They
going
were
by.
undefeated.
They were
at that
undefeated
point.
in
they
the
were
conference.
in a 3-way tie.
Okay.
Ended up being 4th. Got eliminated. So it'll be our Gardner Webb High Point.
Okay,
which will be
that's what I was
was
going
like, whoa,
with.
whoa.
Until you beat them, they were undefeated.
Yes.
In the conference. Forgive me. So 7:00 on Friday night, and then not if you win, but when you win the semifinals, you turn around and the championship game is Sunday, right?
Yes, at 1:00.
1:00.
Yes.
And all of this is taking place at High Point.
Yes.
All right,
And
good
it'll all
stuff.
be on ESPN Plus too.
Good
so.
stuff. Excited?
I am excited.
Ready to roll?
Yes.
Want to play now, or you want to wait until Friday to get here?
I could play now, I think.
Yeah.
This is a long time to wait for a game.
It is. We're so used to having 2 a week. So.
Yeah, especially a game of this magnitude, right?
Yes.
Good stuff. Kirkland, thank you. I'm really enjoying this.
Thank you.
Getting to know you and getting to know a little bit more about this program. And Ellie, thank you for coming in, and good luck.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that is this week's edition of In the Crease. Our thanks to our guests again, Kirkland Lewis, the head coach, Ellie Roser, the senior defender, and we look forward to being back with you again next week when we will, I'm sure, going to be talking about a Southern Conference championship and an NCAA tournament bid that is on the horizon. That's what we're planning on. We'll be back and see you then. Until then, for these ladies, I'm Dan Scott, as always, saying God bless you. And so long, everybody.